citizens of Fremont County. I don't think there's any difference on whether it's televised or not, or how it's going to affect the citizens of Fremont County. Again, I think the point has been made with the media attention to this case that the court has already considered what has happened, what is seen, what has been filed in this court in issuing its initial order. I don't think there's really grounds to reconsider that order or amend that order as is. So our position would be, Your Honor, just to deny this motion and keep it forward as the court already issued its order quite a few weeks ago.
Thank you, Mr. Means. Mr. Wright, I've received your motion and your objection that was filed in case number CR 2220-838. I note that it was not filed in the other case of 755, State of Idaho versus Chad Daybell. I've read thoroughly your brief as well as your argument. Is it your intention to make argument here today, Mr. Wright?
Yes, if that's permitted, Your Honor.
Generally speaking, I would allow it. However, I note that your filing was very recent, and I understand that everything's been put on fast forward just because the preliminary hearings are fastly approaching. Mr. Wood, what is your position with allowing Mr. Wright to argue beyond what he has filed as far as his objection?
Your Honor, the state doesn't have a problem with it. We may want to respond, but we don't have a problem with it.
Mr. Pryor?
Judge, quite honestly, I wasn't provided a copy of Mr. Wright's pleadings in my particular case. Mr. Wood was kind enough to provide me with a copy, and I had an opportunity to review that. I don't want to delay the ruling by this court, so my position is simply, Judge, that Mr. Wright can stand on his pleadings as they've been presented. In both cases, that's fine, but I would prefer that he not make any comment and that he would just stand on the documents as they've been provided to the court, and the court make its decision based on his pleadings. For giving him an opportunity to speak, I think, would create a situation where I haven't had an ample opportunity to prepare, and I think, quite honestly, that wouldn't be fair to Mr. Daybell. So at this point, it appears that Mr. Wright and I are on the same page in terms of the remedy that we're seeking in our particular case. And I don't want to speak for Mr. Wright, but I think the only opportunity is for the court to live stream these proceedings. And I think that was the gist of what Mr. Wright had presented. So at this point, Judge, my preference is that Mr. Wright be advised that we're going to just review his documents and the court can make a thoughtful decision.
Mr. Means, do you wish to be heard on the issue?
Just real briefly, Your Honor.